Hello, welcome to this amazing special edition of the Stadia Rokk Show with your host Rokk, and my two lovely band members are actually on that side today. You see, you can't get this right, can you? Ray and Wilhelm, otherwise known as Stadia Pro Gaming. Now you can probably notice there's a few other faces, some familiar, some unfamiliar, I hope, but I'm hoping that by the end of this hour they will be your new friends and you will have subscribed to their channels and you'll be regularly popping in to support them. Now then, Ray, you know what, there's that section in our show every single Tuesday, right, my little Ewok friend, which is where, you know, I look forward to it. Everybody looks forward to it. It has its own special video. And what would this show be without us playing a little bit of... Love it. For the first time ever, we're dedicating an entire hour to raise praise, and not just new people that we've never heard of before, and you'll see them coming in. They'll be joining us as the show progresses. There are still more to come. Ray, just introduce these wonderful folk, will you?
Oh my God. Well, I got my good friend from Waikiki, Oahu, Primo.
Wave.
We've got the one and only. He just killed it in Killer Queen Black. He was killing everybody. Squidzzz. And then we got the Cloudy V, or Cloud Validation. He did a good job on the Game Over, also with the Killer Queen Black name. And then we got my brother from Romania, the vampire from Transylvania. So thank you guys for joining me. You guys are amazing. I just heard a chime. I think we got some more people in the back.
we've got PapaBear. He's got no camera by the look of it, and very oddly, he's transparent. I'm just wondering whether we've got the vampire to one side in his physical form, and then on the other side, in the form of PapaBear, we've got his shadow. You know, like they don't see each other in the mirror, do they? How are you, PapaBear?
Invisible.
He's invisible. And he's... Oh, look, we've now got Purple Haze joining the gang. Yay, Purple, how are you?
I'm doing well. I laid down and now my hair's all messed up, but I'm doing
Don't worry. Half of us are still half asleep. Yeah. I washed mine today. Do you like it? Yeah. So listen, what you guys are alumni to Raise Praise. So over the last 10, 11, 12 weeks, I forget how long it is now, when we resurrected Raise Praise, because Ray and I used to do a show called Rock and Ray, which some of you may not have seen many months ago. And Raise Praise was part of the Rock and Ray show. So we brought it back for the Rokk Show. It's been a huge success. You guys have all been praised for being amazing content creators, of course, with one thing in common, and that is that you concentrate on Stadia, the platform. So what I thought we'd do is we would just have a get to meet you, get to know you. So for everyone in the chat that may or may not be aware of who you are, what you do, what content you cover, and more importantly, you know, things like, how did you find Stadia? How long have you been doing Stadia? What made you want to be a content creator? God damn you fools! That kind of stuff. We're gonna open mic it in a second, but I'm gonna throw some questions out initially to get the ball rolling. So let me start with my Transylvanian friend Ewan down there. So how long have you been doing content creation for Stadia now, my friend?
2 years, but lately I haven't been so much active with it because I kind of switched job to a public service job, and I'm like, should I be doing content creating still or not? You know, but I'm pretty much going to get back to it.
It's never a question, is it? It's always going to be a yes. What the hell? What?
Yeah, probably have to tone it down so that the company doesn't come and be like, you're an embarrassment. Yeah.
Oh, bless you. Now, how could they possibly think that?
That's what my mom says.
Oh, but yeah, but moms do that, don't they? I mean, my family have all but given up watching any of my content now. They didn't even know it was such a thing as a Raise Praise when I said I was doing this show. I mean, that's not family support, mate, is it? So what? I mean, you're predominantly it's game streaming that you do.
Yes, but I also tend to do like a series of the games that I play. I mean, if I actually love a game a lot, then I'll try to cover the whole series, the whole play series of it. So I did the same thing for Immortals Phoenix Rising on Stadia. I did it for a couple of titles on the PlayStation. I have a lot of stuff that I still haven't made it public just because I'm like, I'm recording it.
Can I pay for it on OnlyFans? Is that possible?
Well, if you want to pay for something on OnlyFans, I can. Okay. I mean, I hope you like them, Harry, because
I do. I love a bear. That's Australian koalas do it for me.
Oh, sorry, Ray.
Cloudy V, Mr. Validation, sir. Great to see you. I've seen you on various shows today. You were on Ryzak earlier. Are you feeling okay, mate? Because you did get you got a bit of a whooping, didn't you? Let's be honest.
Thanks, Purple.
Man, Purple smashed it. Tell us about yourself, my friend. When did you first get into Stadia?
Stadia day one.
So you're a founder?
Yep, I'm a founder.
Awesome.
I was there for the GDC 2019. Or was it? No, yeah, GDC 2019. And so yep, watched it that day. Awesome. And was kind of, whatever, in cloud gaming prior to that, just patiently waiting for someone else to pick up the ball and run with it. The whole idea of no hardware and just continuing to be able to play anywhere and all that just has attracted me long ago. So that was the main attraction. As far as content creation goes, really just about being the message. I was trying to, I guess, defend Stadia a lot, so I wanted to have a name rather than just, a channel rather than just someone in the chat. So I started creating some content to counter react, some of the negativity, the false news and stuff like that long ago that we were getting in the beginning quite a bit of it. It's kind of dippered away, but so that was my main thing, was kind of to be the truth warrior for Stadia, I guess is what I would call it, because it was just so much false news that I wanted to make sure people really gave it a chance and tried it. And because I felt that 9 out of 10 people that tried it would enjoy it,
Yeah. Did you, so were you aware of cloud gaming prior to the GDC, or was this just, did it drop on you as wow, this could be amazing?
Well, I was actually I was with I played I was part of On Live and that community back in 2009, all the way from 2009 to 2014, and then what's the other one? GeForce Now launched in 2014 in beta, and I tried it, but then I was frowned away from it because I got 2 left hands and I can't. Keyboard and mouse is just not for me. So at that time, all the games were keyboard and mouse. So patiently waiting, and then when Stadia was announced, it was just like, oh yeah. And with Google being behind it, I felt that just this time where and just the technology and internet and everything else was coming along, catching up with all the streaming services with TV, being popular. I just felt, yep, here we go. It's time for now the cloud gaming generation to take off.
That's awesome. Primo, my friend, you now I'm going to whisper this, but you're not officially allowed to play Stadia, are you?
No, yeah. I'm breaking the rules. I'm breaking the rules.
And I don't blame you, my friend. You're part of the United States.
I got to represent. I got this one from Sonny.
That is an awesome T-shirt. Yeah. So you're actually in Hawaii, the beautiful islands of Hawaii, of course. Yes. And are you Honolulu?
I'm right in Honolulu. Yeah, actually, I was in Waikiki till about 3 months ago.
Wow.
We moved a little bit outside of Waikiki. Still, I can walk there, but it was still getting a little too crazy. So
no, it's gorgeous. I've been to Honolulu. So were you originally stationed out there, or were you a native Hawaiian? Okay.
Yeah, so I was just born and raised in Mexico. At 9, we moved to LA, and then after high school, I joined the Army. They sent me to Hawaii, and it's just it's a kind of like a love it or hate it thing for people in Hawaii. Either they love it and they can't get away, or they can't stand being in a small place, so they just leave.
But it's gorgeous. And one of the most moving things I've ever been actually was to Pearl Harbor, to the expo. It's so moving. You know what I'm saying, Ray? You've been there as well.
I took the whole tour and everything, man. I actually teared up.
Yeah, me too. It's impossible not to. I don't think you can.
It hits you deep.
Yeah.
My dad, I mean, I was a military brat. My dad was in the Navy for like 28, almost 30 years, and we've been to Guam. We were at Hickam Air Force Base, Guantanamo Bay. I've been all over. But my dad would tell me stories about Navy ships, and he was on the Proteus, he was on the Nimitz.
Oh wow!
That was the greatest thing. Standing on the shore, watching the ships come in, and got all the guys in their uniforms, you know. And I'm like, oh, my dad's coming home. My dad's coming home, and it's just this massive aircraft carrier with all the airplanes. It's just amazing.
Yeah, my dad was in the army as well. I've not so much of and purple. I know that you are repping the army.
Yeah.
In New York. I will come on to you in a second. Yeah. So Primo, I mean, you know, look, let's be open here. So Stadia, for whatever reason, is still not yet available in Hawaii.
Yeah, in Hawaii. I'm trying to figure out why, but I think the only answer that makes sense to me is that the latency might be a little too high for them to have here in Hawaii. Plus, it's very expensive, so maybe for them to get some type of a server farm or anything would probably be too expensive.
Okay,
put it in the Big Island. So I think that's the only rationale I kind of think of it.
But I mean, you're streaming via a VPN, and the quality is absolutely fine.
Yeah. So actually, no, I can still play it, but the what happens is if I go to the store, to Google Store, and I buy a controller,
right,
they'll cancel my order. So I can't. So technically, hardware-wise, it's not supported. But maybe they can't because it's Hawaii's still part of the U.S. So maybe there's somewhere where they can't keep it out of the U.S. Servers. So therefore, I can still access it.
Gotcha. So you're not going through a VPN. You're literally logging in and using straight into like the rest of the states.
I'm going to smuggle some controllers in.
Yeah, he's going to get one down to you, buddy.
I got a backup right here, and I literally have a whole row right.
Oh wow!
But I tried a VPN when I was in Mexico because even though I can access it in Mexico, some of the games wouldn't play because of licensing, probably.
Right.
And so I used a VPN, but the internet was already slow, not because of Mexico, but because my mom doesn't have internet, so I was stealing the neighbor's internet. So I was already kind of far from.
That's Mexico, right?
Yeah. We call it sharing. You know?
Yeah.
So I was able to play it on VPN from Mexico, but it was a little bit. It was worse than here in Hawaii. So
crikey.
But honestly, from all the services until recently, GFN is catching up. But until recently, Stadia has been by far the best performing for me.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Especially once I go into 5G, then it's almost like there's no competition.
Have you been with Stadia like Cloudy since the beginning, or?
No, so I'm actually the difference between me and everybody here is that I wasn't really a gamer until the pandemic hit, and I got tired of watching Netflix. And I'm like, I have an old computer that I'm using because I'm a photographer. So it was kind of, fancy when I first bought it for video editing and photo editing. But then, I'm kind of also cheap. So I didn't want to buy a new computer. I tried to play Warzone because it was free. And it couldn't even load. It was just terrible. So then I started playing some mobile games. And I think, as we all know, once you start looking at things on the internet, right? All these commercials, all these advertisements start popping up. It's like, how did you guys know? They start talking about, I think when I broke my ankle, I never said anything to anybody, and a little ankle cast started coming up on Instagram, and I'm like, this is freaky.
They're listening.
They get you.
Yeah. So I started trying to play mobile games on the computer because they can handle it through emulators, and I got like a Stadia thing for 2 months. They were doing 2 months free, because of the pandemic. This was April 2020, so everybody's stuck at home already. And I'm like, well, this seems like a thing I'm interested in. So I started playing it, and then I was just hooked. I used to watch movies all the time. In the middle of the day, I go to the movie theater and watch movies. That was my go-to. I had the unlimited movie subscription, and then all of that ended. And I was just, if I'm not working, I'm gaming. It's pretty.
Do you know? I think I probably went to the theater that you go to or used to go to, because this goes to show how long ago I went there. Braveheart was on. It was the first time I'd seen it.
What's Braveheart?
What are we? Freedom? No, listen, William, it's better than that, man. So my first experience of going to an American theater. And I didn't realize just how much Americans get into the movie, right? So you come and watch a film in Britain, everyone just sits there really quietly going,
No.
It's more like
this goes, go on, hit him, white boy, give him some of that, come on. I said, Jesus. Wow. Brilliant. Yes, we're talking, what, 95? Something like that, maybe? I mean, you were in nappies.
Sounds right.
And you were in diapers.
what a good movie to
speak
catch in the
English.
theater, though.
It was superb. Purple. And another, I mean, we have a real military rep in today, and you're fresh from your victory with the welcome return of Ryzak. That's such a good show. You're glowing. I can see it.
No, PapaBear gave it to me. He went for a super high number. He knew my strategy, so he gave it to me at the end.
He's a gentleman, you see. Yeah. So how long have you been into playing Stadia?
So I actually was there from very early, but it was like I was playing on my phone and it would make my phone really hot. So I stopped playing it. And it wasn't until a few months later that I got back into it. So I would say for about a solid 2 years, but for sure.
Wow. It's pretty much since Stadia. I mean, it kicked off, November 2019. So it's not far from there, is it? And when did you decide? Have you always been a content creator anyway, prior to Stadia? So that's come later. Okay.
It came later. So I was always in different streams or different people's things, just chatting. And it wasn't until recently that someone was like, hey, maybe you should, like, I was like writing these like paragraph long responses to like Stadia's dead, or like Stadia needs to do this or that. Oh, wow. And I like, my background is very heavily in business. And sometimes at the intersection of business and gaming. So someone's like, hey, maybe you should do content. So Cowboy, Squidzzz on this channel was a big inspiration as well. And, or on the stream, I guess, and Dark1985, someone who plays Xbox a lot, but another person, they all kind of helped me, push me over the hump there.
And you're having, I mean, right now, in fact, all of you, in fairness, are on a kind of rapid ascension right now. We were talking earlier with, I think it was when I was on Anthony's show, and saying there that, what we see Raise Praise all about really is encouraging the next generation on, passing the baton, as it were. But I'm really interested in what you're just saying there about the intersection of gaming and business. Are you able to elaborate a bit more on that, or is that kind of top secret stuff?
It's a little top secret, but a little not. But I will say that I think gaming in general is a bigger industry than the music and movie industry combined.
Oh yes.
And it's really interesting that there's just so little visibility into how the gaming industry works, and it has evolved over time. But yeah, I think that I just try to bring to light some of those insights, especially when we talk about cloud gaming. That's a different business model than consoles and so forth. So I do work on that. I have a project right now where I'm working with someone on some stuff, or I guess a group.
They're not Russian, are they? We're not talking that secret here, are we?
That who will not be named.
But we're working on some things, and hope it's all about making the future of gaming better for not just the player, but everyone. So yeah.
That's awesome. And inclusion, I think, is so important. I've personally been involved over the years in trying to promote women into not just gaming, but technology. And I've worked with schools and colleges and even with some fairly major stars in the UK in creating courses. So it's close to my heart. I've got 2 daughters who I love dearly. In fact, I can't wait, Ewan. I'm coming over tonight to watch the Eurovision. Woohoo! But I was going to say, and it's a slightly sensitive topic, but for me, it's great to see more women involved in look, it's 50-50 split, right? Globally, women and men, 50-50 play games. But for some reason in content creation, it ain't that case. It's, it's still dominated by us bleeding, smelly football lovers. And it's great to see people like yourself, talented people that, are prepared to get up and actually say, no, we can do this stuff as good as you guys can as well. So, and if that's kind of what you're working in, then that's brilliant, and really pleased to hear that.
I just wanted to add on. I was extremely impressed. We were on the panel of CGX, Cloud Gaming Extreme, and oh my God, when she was talking about gaming, gaming news, gaming business, gaming tech, I mean, she knew her stuff. A lot of people, blah, 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 blah. She knew her stuff. And I was just like, oh my God. It's like
PapaBear Gaming, @_PapaBear Gaming joined.
That's Idris Elba, by the way. Idris Elba just entered the building. That's
yes.
Idris Elba?
That's PapaBear Gaming. It's Idris Elba.
Oh, I wish it was. Oh man, I'd take DJ lessons. I'd do anything with that man.
She's amazing, man.
Thank you.
Anything?
Well,
thank you, Ray. Thank you.
Within reason. Thanks, Ewan. Brilliant stuff. Talking of Ewan, yeah, we've already been to you, so I was just talking about you. That's all. Let's go to Squidzzz. Squidzzz, my friend. You are universally loved.
Yes,
and for very good reason, because look at you. I've never seen you frown, my friend. You are the happiest soul I know. And I've said it to you before as well. I go to sleep to your voice sometimes. It's just so mellow. It chills me out completely. Now, I mean, you kind of, for me, you're one of those creators that kind of feels like you've been around for a long time, but you're just now starting to really break through and explode on the scene. But you have been playing Stadia and exclusively Stadia for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah. No, I play a lot of different games, and that's the best part of Stadia. Just get to jump in, jump out. Oh, I'm feeling this game, feeling that game. I want to try this, I want to try that. You can just jump right in. It's just amazing.
What is it about Stadia particularly that is for you? It's the platform of exclusivity.
For me, it's just mainly because, again, the no downloads or updates. Because prime example, like I'm getting a little older. I'll be 30 this year. I mean, not that old, but for me, I'm like,
what a grandpa!
Getting old, man. I'm closer to twice your age.
He's a puppy.
I'm feeling
with the lipstick.
With the downloads, the downloads and the updates. I can't stay up that late for a 3-hour update and stuff, and then play 2 hours, and then it's like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So that's what I was trying to do this week with my brother, and we couldn't really do that. We were trying to play Outriders, and I was waiting for my Xbox to download, and then we only played an hour. So this prime example right there. Just anytime I want to play with someone or play anything, I could just jump right in. And then I'm waiting for my brother on like Division 2 and other games. So like I'm like, hey dude, like I'm already loaded in. Where you at? And then that type of thing. And also you got an update, or ESO is a big one too. I have like 100 hours in that somehow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just another great game that has cross that we play. So
now you do a sort of a chill morning show. For you, it's the morning. For me, it's later in the afternoon. But that's time relativity for you. But what do you prefer? Do you prefer the straight game play content creation, or do you prefer the sort of talking head stuff to camera?
I like a little bit of both, because I know like everyone likes their different types of content. So that's why I like all of it. So if anything, I may try to do like a talk show while I'm doing the gameplay, maybe that type of thing, maybe something like that. But I personally like the gameplay more, because I'm playing the game, I'm having fun. But I could sit and talk.
That's what we do, right?
So, I mean, that's fun too.
Oh, well, it's awesome, and thank you so much for joining us today. Now, I'm hoping PapaBear, we can hear you. Would you like to say hello, and then we can decide if we need to. Can anybody hear? I can't. No. Oh, what a shame. Oh, hang on. Are you there? Oh no, there goes the network. It was there for a second. Oh well, Ray, can you talk on behalf of Papa Bear and tell us a little bit more about PB's content, etc.?
It is definitely, I love him because he's G-rated. It's something my kid can watch because he's very, very, just like Primo. Just so you guys know, Primo does family streams too. It's kind of like the opposite of what SPG does.
You're getting a bit of a rep, William.
I'm surprised horses haven't entered the chat yet.
Yeah, but no,
I'm watching.
Papa Bear Gaming. He's just, just very friendly, good, wholesome streaming. You can sit down with your son, your daughter, your dog, your cat, or whatever, and just watch him play. And it's I think it's he just does like direct streams and stuff like that, but it's still awesome. It's still, you hear his
narration is so good.
Yeah, his voice is amazing, just like yours, Rock.
Well, thank you.
Something about those English guys and their voices.
Hobbits, according to Purple.
Yeah, us Americans, we love to listen to the Europe, that voice, the accent.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's our voice right there.
That was a perfect Ray. If I'd had my eyes closed.
Is that your
Hobbits are tiny though, Purple. They're like that big. They've got huge feet. I'm 6'3" and I've got tiny feet. I'm the furthest thing from a hobbit.
Hobbits and elves. You're from the land of hobbits and elves.
Yeah, although the whole film was filmed in New Zealand. Believe it or not. So,
Middle Earth. It was filmed in Middle Earth.
Yeah, I know. Tolkien was a bit of a dodgy character as well. I'm not so sure that we should be encouraging the Hobbit, him and his rings. It's a real shame. Hopefully Papa Bear's connection
I hope so, man. I
will
hope
improve.
His camera and his voice, but it's just somebody I admire. That's one thing about Stadia from the get-go, is that I never would have imagined I would have friends from all over the world and in places I've never been, probably will never ever go to, but just amazing. It's like a melting pot of people, and we all love gaming. We all love Stadia. So it's great.
And it's not available in all countries yet. So imagine the potential.
Yeah, exactly. And then I know if I can't sleep and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, I can actually I see something.
We've got a shape. We have a shape.
Come on.
We're almost there. See, there's a little, you guys, I'm not sure if we can see this at home. No, you can't, but there's like a little network graphic, and there it's full, and now it's gone back again. I know it's full, and now it's gone again. Oh, dang it.
Sounds like my wife.
Trust
anyway,
I must apologize.
What?
Do some push-ups.
A little humor. Just a little humor. God, there's another guy that's on this panel, and before he gets off, because he's getting ready to kill it with his 2-hour stream, but I got to give it up to Stadia Pro Gaming, William. I remember the very, very first time we hooked up and everything.
@_PapaBear Gaming.
He's trying, folks.
I know, bless him. He'll get there.
Yeah. But I just want to say how much I'm so proud of him, everything he's accomplished, everything he's done. When he came up with Retro Rewind, a lot of people, had.
Sorry, it was my daughter. From my joker.
All good. But I remember when he came out with Retro Rewind, and I know he had a lot of non-serious. A lot of people said that he couldn't do it, and he did it. And then if you look at from his early streams and what he's doing now, his content, his production, he's killing it.
It's gone downhill, mate, hasn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, that SPG guy, I don't know about him.
Used to be so good.
Sierra Rose. She's a huge, she backs him. She's a huge influence in his life, and I love her to death as well. But SPG's killing it, man, and I'm just proud of him. So I give him praise every time I see him. Plus, he shot me in the face when I was saying that. God, I hate that, man, that you did that to me.
So if you guys keep playing multiplayer, you've got to expect to get your bums wiped. That's why I don't play
guys,
it, mate.
That was, you know, I deserve that because I was talking smack on his stream, and if you guys don't know, please go check it out on his TikTok or check the video out. But I kept saying, "Daddy's home. Daddy, hear you coming up the stairs, Daddy," and he shot me right in the face. So
it's kind of creepy, to be honest. Anyone that refers to someone as daddy just freaks me out. I've got to be honest. It's just the way it is.
No doubt.
I mean, Ray, I think
it's different if I say it, if Jeff said it. Okay.
Jeff is freaky. I mean, that's Jeff. Jeff. Right. I mean, it's acceptable with Jeff. No, it's true. I mean, William is doing amazing stuff, and he is another. And there's not one person, I don't believe, on this screen right now that hasn't gone, maybe with the exception of me, to the hearts of the community. And I think community is one of the, if you look at the pillars of Stadia, if you imagine the sort of solid pillars that we consider the foundations of why we love this platform, I would say community is right up there. And interestingly, Anthony made a point earlier, which is valid, is that the community has nothing to do with Stadia, but it is what we've kind of all come together around. And I'm really interested to know from you all individually, what your kind of personal favorite moments and memories are, thoughts are around being within this community. Let's start with you, Cloudy.
Well, I'm going to go with these two fellas up over this. Over here, SPG and Ray.
Oh, Squidzzz and Primo got really excited then. You let them down.
The banter, when the in-game banter with Ray and SPG, and just I love that. With the community and you're playing and just not taking those seriously and just joshing on each other, and that's the best part. I just during lunchtime I pop in and watch that stream and join it sometimes in a gameplay if I can, on my phone, mobile, 4G LTE. That's why I love Stadia, jumping in. They're playing on computers, I'm playing on a phone, and we're right there playing with each other with the same experience. So but the banter and just the horseplay, I love that. Not taking it serious and making jokes, and then at the end of the day, we're all still buddies.
Yeah, and it's that connection, isn't it, with people? I mean, I consider those two guys among maybe my top 5 best friends in the world, largely because I don't have very many. But but the point is, I've never physically met these guys. And in all the years, and it's the same, it comes to the same thing. In all the years of gaming that I've been involved in, it's that connection that you make with people. And I've always said as well, one of the things that I love about gaming is when you're playing a game, you don't get to see the other people that you've become friends with. So color and creed and gender and all the other things, defects and disabilities, they mean nothing. And all you're concentrating on is their intellect and their their emotional intelligence and the bonds that you have with them. And I think that's why gaming's unique for me, because you cut through that stuff that we've all been brought up to prejudice people around where they're from and what color they are, and whether they're male or female or somewhere in between. And gaming for me, and I think this is the great thing about this community, is that we've even gone beyond that. It's no longer, there's none of us are wearing glasses to try and, I don't want to look at you. We just accept it's a whole process of inclusion, with the exception of William, to be fair. But, yeah. Sorry, I went a bit preachy there. Sorry about that, Ray. Where were we? Cloudy. We were with Cloudy, and Cloudy was saying he loved the banter. And that's really key, I think. I agree. Squidzzz, what about you? You're building a head of steam with your community. How does that work for you? Is that something that was missing in your life? It was for me. I've got to be honest.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so that was the problem for me. It was like, I was just trying to be that person, and then also I was like, I want to make that content, and I always strive for that consistency in things, and I know a lot of people like that, and so that's why I like to do the things that I do. Sometimes, I'd be kind of gone and things like that when life stuff happens, but that's normal. But yeah, getting back on track recently within the last like couple of weeks has been nice. But really, just the highlight and what gets me going is honestly just the community and the people that I come across. And as everyone's been stating, just the different backgrounds and people you meet. And that's really what I use as my fuel to kind of just keep me going. I wake up so early just to do that morning show every morning, but I know I just dedicate that time and effort for everyone, and it comes back and it helps other people, get their day going, helps keep my day in a nice flow. So it just
karma, right? It's karma.
Yeah.
Yeah. My name is Squidzzz. Great show, that. Love that one.
Yes.
Purple, how about you? I mean, what aspect of community really works for you, and what kind of gets you fired up?
Yeah, I think just anytime like the community, like things like this, things like the what we did for New Year, or what Clive and so many of you all who are on this stream did for like the Stadia end of year bat. I forget what we called it, but that I think the awards thing, like that kind of very organic grassroots, very much about the community. Like no one hears it's like their job to be an ambassador for Stadia or anything like that, but still providing a place for the community to gather. Like I think there's so many people in the community who aren't even really Stadia players, but they play Stadia because of the community.
That's an interesting point.
I mean, we even have like, I think Maker of Chaos, right? He hates Stadia, I think, but he still comes to the thing. He supports the community a lot. And so I think that really gets me going. And so if I can just provide a space, an opening, a space for the community to come together, whether it's on my show or me not blocking in a game, I'm ready. That's what I'll do,
No, that's a really good shout, actually. I hadn't thought of that before, Ray, that there are literally people that come to Stadia for the community, not just the games themselves. It's kind of an added bonus on that basis, isn't it? And maybe that's why, like your shows, I mean, everyone here that does the multiplayer stuff like you do, William, and, Wreckfest and PUBG, you'll be doing PUBG in a second, of course. And I think a lot of the game is almost incidental in those instances, isn't it? It's much more about the camaraderie and like you've said, Cloudy, the banter, just feeling like you've made friends.
I say it every stream. I look right at the camera and go, you guys are what makes this so fun. Because they are. I mean, the participation in the chat, the little inside jokes, and, plus what's happening on screen, it all comes together, and it's just an awful lot of fun, man. The community is top notch.
I know a lot of young content creators that I've worked with in the past were scared to come on camera, was scared to talk. I know, shout out to Ariel. He's even said, it was hard to talk speech and scared. And now look at him, man. He was streaming, he was doing shows and everything. Just young, 20, I think he's 21 or 22 now. Probably 20. But just to inspire, reason why I do this, and a lot of people are like, hey, man, your views and everything. I do this to inspire. I do this for the community. I do this to make people happy and have fun. When the pandemic hit, my wife was a nurse. They were the hospital.
She still is, mate. Let's not pay the, I mean, she's not moved off this mortal coil just yet. Let's be frank here.
No, my wife was a nurse.
Still is.
And I was stressed out. My son's school was closed. He was here with me. I was a property manager. I had to take some time to take care of my family and and it was stressful. And this community is what got me through, honestly, the pandemic, the friendships and stuff like that. So when,
want to inspire, Ray?
Pulled me through.
I just want to say, Ray, you should have way more subs than you do. I totally agree with Rock. But a lot of people on this panel, you inspired. So good job. You actually accomplished what you wanted. You inspired me. You inspired a whole bunch of people. So.
Didn't inspire me much.
I have to give a shout out to the OGs like Wingy, Clive.
Wingy, I love Wingy. He was so funny.
He was a very bright guy.
It was when I was in my office. I would turn on my, I'd get my phone and I would watch Rock and I would watch Wingy, MM2K, Project Storm, all these amazing guys that I will never forget because they inspired me. And when somebody inspires you, what do? You influence others and you pass it on and you inspire them.
You pay forward, right? And
you keep the torch going. So that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I like Anthony. Me and Anthony, we joke around, but he's a really good guy. He's an inspiration to this community. And Clive, MM2K. Oh my God, MM2K. I felt like I went to church on Sundays, man. I didn't even go to church. I just watch MM2K and I can feel the spirit of Stadia go through me. So
there's only one guy I would never invite to a show. That's why John's not on today. I've had enough of him, to be honest.
Shout out to my God, John.
John's awesome. Ewan.
Yeah. Yes.
Community. You were saying earlier that you're kind of feeling like the pressure that the life work balance thing is struggling, and that you're maybe not going. Is that where the community kicks in and supports and maybe draws you?
To be honest, for me, the community really kicked in during the pandemic. Back then, I was still living in the UK. I was having my retail worker job and all that stuff. I was a retail manager, and times were tough, and you were losing your mind with everything. And the community was keeping me together. To be honest, I found some friends and made some bonds that. I love the community, and also I played with these two guys.
I won.
Some Baldur's Gate.
How did you photocopy Jeff's face and import it into BG3?
I know, man.
That was literally a mini Jeff. Like his face was perfect. I'll send it to you, Rock. You gotta see it.
I want to see it. Absolutely. Yeah. I want to see it.
I saw that you did the cowboy's face. On this gameplay that you don't have me invited on.
Yes. You're always invited.
It's because I can't keep it PG.
Yeah. Well, one of the difficult things is we all, let's face it, in the real world, we all effing Jeff like the best of them. And the problem is, if we all lived in the same time zone, we could go, look, come on, guys, it's 8, let's do, but we can't. And we're all at different, I'm coming up to, you're coming up to what, 20 to 7 right now?
20 to 8.
20 to 8, you're 2 hours ahead of me. I'm coming up to 20 to 6.
They're in the morning.
Right, different times of the day. Poor old Primo's coming up to what, 20 to 8 in the morning, is it? Or 20 to 7 in the morning?
7 in the morning, yeah. Almost
yeah.
7 in the morning. I was just getting blasted in the face by the Hawaiian sunrise right
there. Don't. How dare you?
Share my pain with you guys.
Purple, thank you so much. That's really kind and very generous of you. That Purple's just, and that's thank you for the inspiration. Bless you, especially Rock and Ray. Oh, bless you very much. That's lovely.
Holla.
They get me every time. Look, to be fair, it's you say, Ray, about I don't care about the views, but it is nice when people do things like that. And to be fair, they don't happen very often for me, I'll be honest with you. So when they do, it means a huge amount, and it's absolutely lovely to see it. So thank you for that.
When you get to have a small channel like most of us do, any sort of appreciation from the people watching you and telling you that you're doing a good job, that's the most amazing thing that keeps you going. For me, it's like people commenting or watching or just saying, oh yeah, you really did a nice stuff there or whatever. That's just reinforces the fact that, mate, you're doing a good job. You're providing something for a community and people are looking up to you.
Hearing that you made somebody's day better just by communicating with them is amazing. That's what I love about the community, really. And we're inclusive. I've never been in one game where somebody said, "No, I don't know that guy. Don't invite him in." Never experienced that ever.
Probably because you never brought me up.
Am I from New Jersey? No, I'm very much. Purple's from New York. I mean, that's about as close to there as we get. But no, I'm very English, I'm afraid. And if anything, I suppose in a way that's not as funny as it sounds, because I'm from Southwest England, which traditionally is where the accent, if you listen to my dad, is much more like a pirate, right? You speaks like that. You're right there in my liver. That's how they speaks down here in Devon. But I don't know where my accent went. It just never happened. So, but piracy started. I mean, the accent came around from the Bristol area, which is about an hour from where I live. And then, of course, a lot of the Cornish people that are, and Ewan knows this, Cornwall's just south of where I live. A lot of those guys went to Canada. They went to to California. They went to New York. So a lot of their accents went there as well. So, that's right, my lover. Let's have a pasty. Let's have a lovely pasty. And and now your mama knows. Oh, bless you, my friend. Anthony's such a sweetheart as well. Heart of gold. And he said, I never let Purple upstage me. And I just wanted to hear Rokk say, the Cowboys raise mom's daddy. That just freaks me out.
Let me give you a good one. I never let Purple upstage me, but I will cover her face with the banner of this message.
Yeah, that's true. I know. What can I do? You know, I could move it actually. We do have the technology.
I mean, if you want, move me on the Squidzzz so I can do that to him.
Shall we try PapaBear? Because this poor guy has been in and out like a Yehudi violin, and we've got to see if we can. Do you want to have another go at it, Papa? And then, but you're more than welcome to just sit here and be a black box. I mean, it's.
Thank you for having me, Rokk. I'm going to jump out.
Yeah, you take care, my friend. And don't forget, guys, in exactly 15 minutes, get yourself over to Stadia Pro, who is really greedy, and he sold 2 hours of this day's event. And, you know, it's who you know, folks. But he's going to be doing some special
Don't invite
PUBG.
Certified Doc. Do not invite Certified Doc.
I wonder what you said. I didn't hear Doc properly. And
that would certainly be certified. All right.
Yeah, right. See you later. There he goes. Lovely. So yeah, I've got a little link pinned into the chat, guys. So please go and watch him straight after here. Papa, come on. Let's have a go. We can do this. Come on. I'm listening for Idris Elba. Poor guy. He's shouting at the screen. You can see it, can't you? I've got so much to tell you.
I've been there in a stream I couldn't get on, man, and so it's you know.
Melon can be funny. See, what you've got to bear in mind is that we're all from different parts of the world, so there's all these servers and connections and stuff, and it can cause all sorts of funny shenanigans. But Primo, it's a community. I know that you. Am I right in saying that prior to Stadia, you did some Nintendo stuff as well?
So I've primarily always done Stadia, but my daughters were bugging me for this Animal Crossing game. We didn't have a Switch, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll buy it for them because we were stuck at home, right? This is like pandemic time, right? Not that we're out of it. And so I bought them the game. They got tired of it after like 5 days, as I knew it would happen. So I started playing it, and I got hooked on Animal Crossing. I was already doing the Stadia content. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me see if I can play some Animal Crossing online or, you know, some streaming. So actually, it's funny enough. I actually started streaming before I knew before I watched streamers. If that makes any sense. I wasn't the type to sit around and watch people stream. And so for whatever reason, once I started playing Stadia, I'm like, you know what? I wonder let's see how it works. Because you can direct stream, right? So I figured if anything, I can just store my videos on my YouTube channel. And so I started streaming, and I liked it. I enjoyed it, especially when, you know, that first person pops in and they start talking to you, and I kind of got hooked. So I kept doing Stadia streams, and then just randomly I started playing Animal Crossing. On the second stream, I got rated, and you know, obviously you're hooked, right? Because you get that rate. So I went from 0 viewers to like 20 something in a second, and I was like, oh, what's going on? And so I realized that the Animal Crossing brings the numbers in, and I liked the game, so I kind of just kept streaming it. But I would always try to fit in Stadia. It's just that now I know a lot of people don't even know about Stadia. They have no idea what it is, how it works. You know, I try to every time you see my streams, I try to put in the link. Oh, it's free. You don't have to do anything here. I just click on that link, so you don't have to put a credit card information. You know, the free to play games, and there's just for whatever reason that the hype is not there for most people. So I just keep promoting it, and then I'm kind of burnt out with Animal Crossing. I still love it, but I don't want to. I don't want to play something that I don't feel like playing just for the sake of views. So then I went hard on Stadia. Pretty much every day I started a Spanish channel with specifically only Stadia. Yeah, so I figured my Spanish is kind of fading a little bit, and so I figured that's a good way to practice. And so anyways, to bring that back to community, I was always watching you guys once I started streaming, and I kind of knew what it was. And when I figured out why people watch, because before that I was like, why would somebody watch somebody else play games? That doesn't make sense. Like in my mind, it didn't make sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then I started getting curious about some of the games on Stadia. So then I would watch some of you guys, and then I'm like, this guy is entertaining. This guy is funny. And then I literally been watching you guys since the beginning. And it wasn't until Ray played what was it, PUBG.
PUBG.
Because PUBG is my favorite game so far. I hate it, but I love it at the same time. and so I saw Ray streaming. I've seen him stream before on YouTube. I didn't know he had a Twitch channel until I found him on YouTube. So I watched him stream, and I'm like, you know what? He's playing my favorite game. Let me see if I can jump into the chat. And then that community just like, blah, I met the doc. I met everybody here. Popo Haze started popping in on my chats. I started popping in. I basically watch all you guys. I know when you guys I know where you guys live. And and so that's when I started really getting into the chat, because before that I would just drive or sit here, play games, and just kind of watch you guys. But now I'm more active in the chat, and it feels different. It feels good. It feels better, because I don't know if you guys I noticed this, and this might offend some of you guys, but I've noticed that a lot of the Stadia people are older. And I think it has.
I've never spotted that.
Hey, Steve, that's what I was talking about.
I don't know what's he saying, Ray.
It's just the convenience. The convenience of Stadia is just. I mean, it's right there. It's made for old people that don't want to deal with all the little technical stuff.
Us hobbits live a long time, mate. This is the thing. I'm actually 106.
You look great. You only look 105.
Wow, that's very kind of you to say so.
And so my last point being that because I noticed that everybody's kind of older, if you're in real life, a lot of your friends are probably not gamers because they're older. They have wife and kids. And so even younger friends, like 25, 26, they don't know what Stadia is, or they don't really care about it because they have their fancy consoles or PlayStations or PCs. So I don't really play with them. The older ones, they don't even have. I mean, I bring up gaming, they look at me like I'm alien or something. Weird. So it feels a lot better for me to find people that are around kind of the same age, younger, older, but they have their own lives, they have their own job and stuff, and still be able to game without feeling like I'm doing something weird. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, it's a fact, and I've always said it as well. I think that's one of the major factors of Stadia. It appeals to casual gamers, and that by its own merit is usually someone who's a little bit older, that maybe have kids or a career, and they want to just jump in and play a game quickly, and and move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird looking over my shoulder, and my son, so he plays the PS5 and the Xbox. I play in the cloud, and it's just and when I look at him, he reminds me of me when I was playing Nintendo and Sega, and now and my daughter, she's huge with Nintendo, and she loves Animal Crossing. I love planting turnips with her, and just. It's just great. It's great, but it is. I will admit, it is kind of frustrating because some of the guys, man, they just whoop your tail in PUBG. They're quick and they're good, but I just love just be able to have fun and just play. It's really good.
Bless you. Listen, we're fast approaching the. Sorry, Ewan.
I was going to say to Ray, talk about yourself every time I go in any sort of competitive game. The kids just like whip my ass.
Yeah, that's why you'll never find me in them, my friend.
That's why I refute. My son plays Fortnite. I cannot do Fortnite because I get owned in Fortnite. I get owned.
Oh, thank you, David. Right, we're literally 5 minutes now before we hand the baton over to William. So in the time-honored tradition of this kind of a show, we're going to race around. I want all of you to basically tell us where we can find you, what days of the week you tend to do your stuff, what we can expect from you. And let's start with you, Primo, as you're up in the top left corner or top right corner.
So I stream English streams Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Normally around 9 p.m. right after Ray streams on Monday. So 9 p.m. my time, which is, what is that? +6. What is that? Like 3 in the morning Eastern time. It's really early. It's really bad timing for you guys. If anybody's unemployed in the UK, maybe you guys can watch me. And then Tuesday and Thursday, I started doing Spanish streams on my other channel. And so if you guys speak Spanish, go ahead and check it out. It's Google Stadia. It's with it's featured in it's featured on my channel. And then once in a while I jump into like Animal Crossing on Saturdays when everybody's available and stuff. But it's 99% is Stadia content. Once in a while I do what is that, Luna and Cloud, what is that, X Cloud, but that's just to try it out, just to kind of have a reference point.
You've got Luna as well in Hawaii. Wow.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't subscribe to it, so I only get the 4 because you have to have Prime and Hawaii because it's way cheaper. If I ship it just regular, it's super expensive.
Wow.
So I only have the 4 games. They change every month.
So your YouTube channel, is that the same as your tag?
Everything. Everything is the same as
awesome stuff. Cloudy, where can we find you? Where are you? What are you doing, and everything else?
Well, later today, 6 p.m. Central, I'm going to do the live stream MotoGP 2021, little motorcycle racing. As far as day by day, just randomly, I don't have anything consistent. I drop videos, stream randomly when I can. I enjoy jumping in other people's games, or I jump in with Cowboy streams a lot and chat with him and stuff like that. So just randomly as far as streaming goes. But today, like I said, the MotoGP thing will be going on.
That's awesome. And your channel name?
Cloudy Validation. Cloud Validation on YouTube, Cloud Validation on Twitter.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my friend. Squidzzz! You multi-legged rubbery fellow, you.
Oh, man.
Give us the skinny, as they say in the old 1920s movies.
Well, you can find me on my YouTube channel, Squidzzz with 3 Z's. And I might be world famous, as you guys know. And you can also catch me on the Chill Times of Squidzzz, Monday through Friday, which is on the Stadia Dosage channel, 5:10 a.m. Arizona Mountain Time. That is, because I live in Arizona. And also Mountain Time. But
I'm sensing some in-jokes here, fellas. I feel I'm getting FOMO.
Long story short, I told Purple Haze had me on a show, and I told her Mountain Time, and it was the wrong time because I'm in Arizona, so it's a different, like an hour difference. So, but anyways, that's the fill-in. But we also got the Tuesday show, 7:10 p.m. Arizona Mountain Time. And then that's every Tuesday. So Monday through Friday and Tuesdays, and then game streams will pretty much be random. And then the game streams channel.
And I have to say, I feel like a little nap now listening to you there for 2 minutes. It just makes me feel so drowsy. Ewan, wake me up with your Transylvanian drawl.
Oh, you want to hear this?
Oh yeah.
Well, to be honest, at the moment I'm just doing like impromptu streams and jumping on other people playing. But
did you say jumping on other dead people playing then? That's what he just said, isn't it?
That's what we do for fun in Pennsylvania.
You flipping vampires. It's all the same.
No, but I am planning to start Flashback Friday and something slightly different on Sundays, because it's weekend and I can actually work with that with a set thing. So probably keep an eye on that.
Awesome. And I keep bumping into you in Destiny as well, which is good because you get me out of tight corners.
Because I need to kill hunters.
No, nothing wrong with hunters. Right, let's move swiftly on to Purple. Purple, tell us your entire life story in 13 seconds.
No, thank you. You can find me on Wednesdays on my channel, Shades of Purple, as well, or on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on Shades of Purple, Fridays with with LofiMonk on Cloudy Thoughts, as well as on the weekends. And I just want to say, if y'all think you're lonely with your friends not playing gaming, you should see me when I go to brunch. And you were talking about kids. I bring them a game.
Are they all going?
Little nightmares. So, exactly. But I'm bringing them on slowly but surely. They are finding that they are gamers at heart. So, yeah.
One friend at a time. That's all we can ever hope for, is it not? Thank you so much. Raymond, do you want to quickly squeeze in your massive itinerary? I mean,
you know who I do want to do? I want to do PapaBear Gaming. He says, for those who still have faith in me, I will be on at 11 p.m. UK time. So that's from PapaBear Gaming. And then, guys, tonight I'm doing breakfast 1 a.m. East Coast time. 10 o'clock Pacific time. Come on, guys. If you want to get wrecked, come on.
Thank you so much, guys. What a fantastic show this has been. I hope you've enjoyed it. And as always, for being Raise Praise alumni, you will be forever, eternally part of our Stadia community heart. So have a cracking weekend. Enjoy the rest of today, folks. If you're watching, go right now because he's doing it. He's doing his 2-hour PUBG slog. The link is in the chat right at the top there. You can't miss it. Say Rokk sent you and he'll give you a discount. See you later. Take care. Bye.
Bye, everybody.